Detroit Lions fans, Detroit Den 313 back with another one. Steve and Will here, ready to talk some Detroit Lions football. But before we get going, you already know what it is, people. If you're loyal to the channel, hit that subscribe button. If for some reason you haven't, if you're new here, welcome. Hope you enjoy the show. And think about becoming a member because we give away lots of stuff. We give away helmets, we give away jerseys, we give away gift cards. We do the things. We try to give back to the people who support us. So greatly appreciate it, but it is not required. Steve, what the heck are we talking about today?
So, William, with all the OTA stuff, all the offseason stuff, it seemed like to me that there was a player that really just was standing out right up there with the top performers. And one of them was Jameson Williams. We've talked about him. But the other one that I've heard just a lot of his name is Jahmyr Gibbs, William. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is in for a monster season. I feel like we haven't taken our spotlight and really shined it on him in quite a while. I feel like we've talked about a lot of different players. Got to give some love to some guys who are, get swept underneath the rug and they're all pros and pro bowlers. We got to talk about Jahmyr Gibbs a little bit, William. Going into the 2025 season, how do you feel about JG, not Jared Goff?
I think Ja is he's going to be in a conversation for the best running back in the league. I remember after his rookie season, I came out and said some things, and people were hammering me about it. I said he could potentially be in a conversation then. It's interesting to hear because I already had really, really great thoughts about Jahmyr Gibbs. To hear he's performing even better than he has been throughout OTAs, he looks more explosive. Is that a thing? Because he already looked pretty doggone explosive. So if he's more explosive, what do we say here at Detroit 313? Thoughts and prayers for those defenses, those opposing defenses. So I'm with you, Steve. I'm looking for a special season, but I'm looking for him to really plant his flag in the NFL as, hey, Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, look out. Maybe there's a new number one in town, man. After this 2025-2026 season, and I keep saying it, this Super Bowl run, maybe Jahmyr Gibbs is a front runner. You think it's possible?
A front runner for MVP? I
would say a front runner for best running back in the league.
Oh, William, he's already there. Without a doubt. I've said it on camera before. I've said it on tape several times. Call me a homer all you want. I know what Saquon Barkley can do, but I know that you shut down Saquon Barkley, you're probably going to win the game. If you shut down Jahmyr Gibbs, I think we could beat you 10 other ways. I mean, it's no disrespect to Saquon. He's an absolute monster, but I don't want to see Jahmyr Gibbs being used like Saquon Barkley, where he's having to run the ball 450 times in a season. I'm looking at his stats right now. He only touched the ball 300 times last season, Jahmyr Gibbs, and had 20 total touchdowns, almost 2,000 total yards. Like that's right. That's the neighborhood I want him to be living in, Will. I think if you do stuff like that, you take care of your body, you can play in this league as a running back 10 to 13 years, at a very, very high rate. Saquon Barkley, yeah, he's a beast, but I do not want to see the Lions have to use a running back where we're just pounding the ball, running it 40 times with the same back. I don't want to see that. It's hard to shut down Jahmyr Gibbs. I've seen very, very, very few linebackers do it. The only one that I've seen really give Jahmyr Gibbs a fit, in my opinion, is Quay Walker of the Green Bay Packers. I think he plays pretty well against Jahmyr Gibbs. And like I said, that's fine. You can take him away. We'll beat you with J-Mo. We'll beat you with St. Brown. We'll beat you with Laporta. So at the very least, I think Jahmyr Gibbs is one of those guys that says, hey, I don't need to touch the ball. If you guys need me to be a decoy for a game, or if I'm feeling a little banged up and I'm not 100%, trot me out there. I'm at least someone that has to be accounted for from a defense. But I don't think that he's even in the same stratosphere as some other running backs in the league, William. I think he's head and shoulders above. And for some whatever reason, the big comparison isn't even with him and Saquon Barkley. It's Jahmyr Gibbs and Bijan Robinson. Like, William, what are we doing here? You could let me redraft that draft a couple years ago. I'm going to take and do the same exact thing Brad Holmes did 10 times out of 10, where I pass on Bijan, I trade back, get the better running back. I think we absolutely fleeced the NFL that season. So I already think Jahmyr Gibbs is the top running back in the league. William, call me crazy.
I'm not going to call you crazy. I do think that you're speaking to his potential a little bit. I think that he has the ability to be the best running back in the league. I agree with you there, but I can't give it to him quite yet. He's got to perform on the field and show me. One of the things that I've been begging, pleading, crying for from it was the Chicago Bears coach, but now it'll be from Coach Morton is I want to see Jahmyr Gibbs used as a receiver. And I mean, put him, start him in the backfield, and then trot him out as a slot receiver. Let us see some formations where we got David Montgomery out there and Jahmyr Gibbs. I want to see Jahmyr Gibbs used as not just a receiving back. I think he has the ability and the athleticism to be used as a slot receiver. Uh, I've said it before. I'll say it again. When Jahmyr Gibbs was drafted, Brad Holmes spoke to it at the press conference. He spoke to it on Inside the Den. He spoke to it on numerous interviews. He didn't just draft Jahmyr Gibbs as a running back. He drafted him, and this is his words, not mine. He drafted him as a weapon. A weapon. To me, that meant doing more than just handing him the football, doing more than him running routes from out the backfield. I expected to see him utilized as a receiver, similar to guys like Marshall Faulk before him, right? This is what I want to see out of him. If he does that, he instantly, to me, becomes the best back in the league because I've seen everything else that I need to see. I've seen him block. I've seen him run in between the tackles. I've seen him run outside the tackles. I've seen him run off tackle. I've seen him do screen plays. I've seen him catch short routes and do nasty, nasty, inappropriate things to defenders with him. The only thing that I want to see to add to his game now is him to line up as slot receiver and give linebackers and nickel corners the business. You add that, put David Montgomery in that backfield. You got guys like St. Brown. You got guys like Khalif Raymond. You got guys like J-Mo, Tim Patrick, Isaac Tesla. Uh, the list goes on, man. There's Sam Laporta, if I didn't say him. There's weapons everywhere. You're right, Steve. Can't just key in on one guy. I think it gives us the opportunity to be doing special things in this offense, even take a step forward. I love the way Coach Morton has been known for wanting to take shots down the field. Hey, you want to take those shots down the field, you got to honor those guys going down the field. Things get a little bit soft underneath. Good luck tackling guys like Jameson Williams and who we're doing a show about today, Jahmyr Gibbs in space. Let him catch that ball with a linebacker 2-3 yards away from him having the opportunity to be able to make a move. And I really want to see that out of him this year. If he does that, more receptions, more touches from outside of the backfield, along with getting his touches in the backfield, I think instantly he becomes the biggest threat in the league. Having David Montgomery is going to be one of the just best things that ever happened to his career because it is going to keep him being able to not have to have a crazy amount of touches and then just being on a team where he's surrounded by other weapons. So you can't just say, hey, listen, today, guys, we need to stop Jahmyr Gibbs. Like, back in the day, if you're a Lions fan for many years, people used to come to Detroit. People used to come to Pontiac, the Pontiac Superdome, and they say, listen, Herman Moore, Johnny Morton, Brett Perryman, hey, listen, those are all good players, but we are here to stop Barry Sanders. That's what we're here to do. If you mess around and show up to Detroit and say, hey, I'm going to stop David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, you're just going to watch that football go down the field, down the field, down the field, down the field, down the field. You're going to get lit up, right? And if you do the opposite, you're going to get punished. Right? So I think he's on a perfect team to have a big season and to have some huge weeks because I think you're going to have to make a choice when you come to Detroit or when you deal with the Detroit Lions. You're going to have to choose. Am I going to try to stop this passing game, this passing attack, or am I going to have to try to stop this running game? And you're going to get beat with the opposite.
William, I'm going to say something, and this is going to be an opportunity where you're going to have a slam dunk chance to call me nuts, a slam dunk chance. But I don't think you will, William. I think that there's a good chance you might be with me. So I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I think that the Detroit Lions offense is going to be much better with Johnny Morton than it was with Ben Johnson. Listen, a lot of people are panicking about the Ben Johnson. Oh, how can you overcome losing two coordinators easily? There were so many times in games, especially in the second half of football games, where our offense would come out and still be asleep. Don't know what it was. Don't know if it was in the Gatorade. Don't know what happened at halftime. But we've talked about it before. I broke it down one season, and we did like 26 total points in the third quarter or something like that within like 16 games or something crazy. It wasn't very much. I think that our offense is going to be a lot better. I know everyone loves the trick plays. They're fun to watch. They're fun to see. It's cool to talk about. You're scrolling on TikTok and you see another trick play from Ben Johnson, the butt fumble or whatever it was called that he did in Chicago. It was cool. It was fun. I would rather see Johnny Morton take advantage of some mismatches, like you just said, with some trickery formations instead of trick plays, getting some uneven boxes on some defenses where if we're 5-on-5 with our offensive line and David Montgomery has to just make one guy miss, see you later. If we're in the same position and Jahmyr Gibbs has to make just one guy miss, see you later. Like, William, I would rather see some trick formations. I don't even know if I want to call it a trick formation. If there's a better word out there for it, let me know. But like you were saying, with Jahmyr Gibbs playing a little wide receiver, with Isaac Tesla, who's 6'4" and runs a 4.4, with Jamison Williams, who runs like a deer, Amon-Ra St. Brown, who catches everything. If we're just creating matchups, I would much rather see some stuff like that instead of Jamison Williams reverse toss pass for an interception or trying to pass the ball on 3rd and 1 when you're going against the 30th ranked defense. I hope that Johnny Morton just takes advantage of some of the elite skill sets that we have on this offense and exposes that in his trick play type of way. William, am I nuts?
No, you're not nuts. You're not nuts. But I don't, not so fast.
Jeez.
Not so fast. But I will say I don't agree. I don't agree. I don't think you're nuts, but I don't.
I'm not nuts, but you don't agree. Okay.
I would be 100% okay with it. Let's not get it twisted. But what I am a fan of when it comes to football and just, life in general, I want to dominate you. I want to dominate you. I want the Detroit Lions to be so good. You know what we're going to do. And we just take what you give us. Hey, you know the formations we're going to come out in, the plays we like, and we're just going to run them anyways. That's just the bottom line, because we're better than you. Because when it comes down to it, our third option is better than your third option defensively. Our fourth option offensively is better than your fourth option defensively. And when I really think about it, I think about this. Okay, my first option is going to be running the ball with Gibbs or Montgomery. Okay. You've stopped the run. Hats off to you. Okay. To me, my next option is probably going to be St. Brown. Okay. You stopped St. Brown. Hats off to you. Now, my next option is probably going to be J-Mo. Right. You've stopped J-Mo. Hats off to you. You must have some dogs over there. Now I'm going to Sam Laporta. Next option. Did you have somebody to stop Sam Laporta too? I don't know. Did you? Because what teams are we? Just not even getting into some other guys, because we don't know what Tesla's going to be. I still like Khalif Raymond. I still like Timothy Patrick. So and there's some of the young guys that I like that I see making plays. Dominic Lovett, he's another one I like. That's a young guy that's making plays. Brock Wright, is he better than your second string linebacker that he's matched up against? Like these, when we get down and we start looking at these defenses, how many defenses have enough guys who can get into one-on-one matchups with us? Okay, you're running zone. Understand it. You got to give us something. Sam Laporta is a pretty intelligent dude. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a pretty intelligent dude. There's been talks of J-Mo this offseason coming back as one would call a football savant. He's asking it just in very, very impressive questions in his meetings. He has been prepared and locked in. It's been acknowledged that he has been in that playbook and he has a strong understanding of what's going on now. He's actually teaching the boys now. Right? So he's another one who's going to understand how to beat these zones now. What do you have? Right? And I just talked about throwing this ball underneath to Gibbs or Montgomery, because I think Gibbs is so special, so quick, so twitchy that sometimes we lose sight of how special David Montgomery is. David Montgomery has a couple long touchdowns on his resume as well. He's got some juice now.
He was I don't know if he was 1,000 yards last year because he got hurt, but I think the year before he was 1,000-yard back. Like, we got 2,000-yard backs in our backfield. Well, I think you're saying the same exact thing as me, just with a different word. So I don't know what you're disagreeing with, because I'm 100% with you. I want to treat football games as domination. I like that you said that word, kind of sprung it into my head. You remember a couple years ago, Michigan football went on the road to Penn State. What did we do in the second half of that game? Well, do you remember? We ran the football every
Punched you in
single
the mouth.
play besides
Oh,
one, and it was a pass interference play. So we didn't even attempt a forward pass in the second half of that game. I know the Detroit Lions will never do that, but it's the physical dominance of knowing, like you said, I'm going to come out and this is exactly what I'm going to do. Stop it. Okay, you stopped it a couple times. Now I can beat you 1,000 different ways because I'm winning with my matchups. Kind of like what I was saying earlier. Like, we don't have guys that you can just completely shut down 100%. Because even if you stop Jahmyr Gibbs in the run game, can you stop him in the pass game too? Can you stop David Montgomery in the pass game as well? Because I think he's an underrated pass catcher as well. Maybe not as elite as some of the top dogs in the running back position, but I still think he can catch some passes and take some stuff. I think one of his best plays last year, where he absolutely bulldozed Devon Witherspoon. I believe that was on a pass play as well, if I'm not mistaken. We just, like you said, we have so many guys with so many different skill sets. Is your fourth defender able to match up with our fourth offensive player? Is your second defender able to match up with our first? Like, there's just so many different matchups. You have to really be a really, really solid defense to play against the Detroit Lions and completely stop us. Because even last year, I can't think of a game where the Detroit Lions offense was completely stopped for 4 quarters. It's not going to happen. Like, we had some spurts, we had some, some bad drives, some turnovers, interceptions. Like, it happens. Every team has those. But can you look me in the eye and show me a game where from week 1 to the Washington Commanders game, the Detroit Lions offense was completely 100% shut down? Didn't happen. So with Jahmyr Gibbs going into his, what's he going to do, his 3rd year now? Like, we couldn't even list him on our breakout season, Will. Like, we did an episode a week ago about breakout players, and I said I can't even put him on there because I think he's already broken out. I think he's already the best player at his position. So we had to just shine a little light on him today, man. I'm excited to see how fun this offense is going to be in 2025, 2026. I think that Johnny Morton is something I'm more comfortable with, and I think a lot of people are – I don't know if I want to use the word panicked, but a little concerned that we have a missing offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator being replaced. But when I look at this offense, if I'm Johnny Morton, I've said this 1,000 times, you got the best offense in football. You landed into a position where you have the best offense in the whole NFL. Like, just put the Ferrari on the highway and know when to punch the gas or when you're going to come up on a traffic jam. Just know how to maneuver it. I think we're going to be more than okay.
number 1 offense in the league. Okay.
Doesn't need to be number 1, but I think it's for sure top 5. I don't need it to be number 1, but scoring, yeah, I think we'll be somewhere in the ballpark of 27 to 30 points per game, and I think that'll be in the conversation for a top 3 scoring offense.
I like it.
I want the defense to be better. If this defense is giving our elite offense more touches and more opportunities, that number could go from 27 to 30 to 30 to 34, no problem.
Who do you think is going to be more dominant going into the season, the offense or the defense?
Offense. Offense is just – it's an offensive league. You can't do anything in the NFL. You can't touch offensive players. You can't do much of anything. It's hard to play defense. And on top of that, if you add all the players we have, we're a hard team to stop. So I would just like to see Jared Goff take better care of the ball. And I think that Johnny Morton's going to help that by putting him in better situations. That the 3rd and 1 thing that it'll probably be my dying memory will be that 3rd and 1 against the Washington Commanders. And I'll be screaming, why didn't we run the ball right there? But hindsight's 2020. Now that we have that information, it's easy to go back and criticize it because if it works, nobody's saying a word. But that's not the case. But I think our offense will be a top 5 for sure.
I dig it, man. I agree with you. I think the offense will be a little bit better than the defense this coming season, but I think the defense will take a huge step forward. Brad Holmes just recently did an interview. He made mention to the fact that Coach Shep has been being developed to be the defensive coordinator since 2021. 0 worries about Coach Shep. He's a leader of men. He's prepared for the job. I think this defense is going to take a step forward. Cannot wait to live in a world to where Talik Williams, Aleem McNeil, Aiden Hutchinson are all on the same defense, playing at a high level. It's going to be special. I love our secondary. I think that's special. I really like our linebackers. I'm hoping that Jack Campbell takes a step forward. If Jack Campbell takes a step forward, listen, league, thoughts and prayers. Jack Campbell, and people have been kind of getting on me a little bit for giving Jack Campbell a tough time. I like Jack Campbell, and I think that he is a solid football player. But you don't draft players in the first round to be a solid guy. You don't. That's not what first round picks are about. First round picks are about being an elite talent that makes an impact at wherever they're at. Right. I need him to be a true impact player. I want him to be in the conversation of the top 5 linebackers in the league. That's where I want him. I don't want him to be top 15. I don't want him to be top 20. I don't want him to be top 32. I want him to be in the conversation of top 5 linebackers in the league. When I watch the top 5 linebackers, I do not see Jack Campbell in that conversation, but I do think that he has the potential to be in that conversation. Steve, I'm going to say it here and I mean it. If Jack Campbell becomes a top 5 linebacker with our secondary, Aiden Hutchinson, Talik Williams, Aleem McNeil, and I don't care who we put at that other end, our defense is going to be inappropriate. With Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch anchoring the back half of it, it will be you, me, little William, whoever could be playing on the edge over there. It's not going to matter. Yeah, it's not gonna matter at that point because I'll tell you right now, I'm just gonna be over there getting treated like a child. But it's not gonna matter because the other 10 guys are gonna be doing crazy things out there. So, Steve, Jack Campbell cannot be a top 5 linebacker. If that happens, oh my goodness! And then you're gonna tell me who Derek Barnes, who gets given a hard time. I actually like Derek Barnes, especially at that on-ball linebacker. Then you got Alex Anzalone still out there doing his thing. I'm really hoping that he gets re-signed. Golly, this defense, Steve, it would go from a pretty doggone good defense to crazy good.
William, I told you the only thing that Jack Campbell has to do is that once this game slows down for him, and I think that happens this year. Like first 2 years, kind of a rookie, kind of getting your feet wet, kind of understanding. Last year, he kind of got a bigger role when Alex Anzalone got hurt, but I think year 3, I think it's going to slow down for him this year, and we're going to be good. And I just want to remind you of one thing, Will. Like you said about first-round picks, I just want to remind you that Jair Alexander was a first-round pick at one point. All right, I just want to
never heard of her.
I just want to put that knife in and just twist it just a little bit. Well, I just want to cut you a little bit with that one.
Never heard of her. Is she? What's she do? She play?
You will. That deal's coming. Jair Alexander is going to be a Detroit Lion, William.
Why? Why would he be a Detroit Lion?
Because he's going to help us win a Super Bowl. Jair Alexander, Buffalo Bills, Super Bowl. He's going to have a game-sealing interception. You heard it here first, Will. You know damn well I can predict the future. You know I can.
Or are you taking off of the field? Are you taking Terry and Arnold off the field?
Maybe someone's injured. Maybe someone's injured. It's been a long season.
Meek Robertson?
It's been a long season. It's the Super Bowl. Someone might get hurt. Someone might get bigged up.
That's a lot of people, man. Because
we're talking like 22 weeks into the season.
Listen, I got 4 DBs that I like to start at corner. I just named all 4 of them because Avonte Maddox can play the nickel. So I got 4 outside corners that I'm cool with. Terrion, I'm cool with. Ennis, I'm cool with. DJ Reed, I'm cool with.
Well, I didn't say I didn't like them. All I said was you're really high on first-round picks, but Jair Alexander was a first-round pick as well. He's been a second-team All-Pro, Pro Bowler. I don't know. I don't know what there's to hate about him.
It's not me. It's not that I hate like his game. He plays tough. Now we got some durability issues, and I don't like the conversation. I don't like the calling people out and making it about you. The Detroit Lions aren't a team that makes it about themselves as individuals. They're a group of guys that are coming together, playing tough and gritty as a team, and trying to go win a Super Bowl as a unit. Man, I just don't feel like he fits in from that standpoint. Hey, if Brad Holmes, listen, Brad Holmes has earned something from me. As we come on here and we give our opinions and we say things. The bottom line is this. If Brad Holmes brings somebody in, he's earned trust from me. So regardless of what my opinion about that player is, I'm going to say, okay, Brad must have knew something that I didn't know, and I'm going to give this guy a chance. So I can say how much I don't want Alexander until I'm blue in the face. If Brad brings him in, I'm going to immediately say, okay, he's seen something. I got to take a look. But until that happens, I'm going to continue to give my opinion, which is everything that I've seen from him and the Green Bay Cheeseheads. I don't think that he's a culture fit for what we got going on right now. But, hey, if it happened, I'd be cheering for him. But until he's in Honolulu Blue, just a thought.
You're going to have a tough time, William, because if you're in a situation where you're holding on to 2 players, they're dangling over a cliff, you can only save one, and one of them's Jair Alexander, and the other one's Levi Onwuzurike. I know you're saving Jair. That's all I got for. Maybe we go out and sign Antonio Brown while we're at it too, Will. I mean, I know he's got that attempted murder charge on his head, but I think we can get him for pretty cheap right now. Should we just get ahead of the curve and start, talking about Antonio Brown? Like, we just bail them right out of jail. We could pay them pennies on the dollar and get an elite talent, because I've seen some stuff like that on Twitter as well. So maybe that news is coming.
Either, but neither one of them are getting like. Listen, it could be Aaron Donald or Levi Onwuzurike. I go Levi Onwuzurike.
Oh, okay, all right, people, stick around.
TJ Watt, Levi Onwuzurike. Levi Onwuzurike.
We'll be back later with another show. I've had enough.